Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies strengthening your business while offering your talents to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Hello and welcome to another Tuesday marketing broadcast presented to you by Giver Marketing Network. And I am Christine Deane, Team Director. So excited today to have Tim Palmer with me. Hey, Tim.
Hi, Christine. Super excited to be here with you too.
Oh, we're going to have fun. You know, we love broadcasting out. If you want us to broadcast to your group, let us know. Right now, we're out there broadcasting to all sorts of fun places. Warrior Networking. Oh, Yes, I Can Women in Business. Addie's Veterans Networking Group. 380 Quarter Believers with Something to Sell. Entrepreneurs Community. We are all over the place. Around North Dallas, business networking. I mean, I just can't even name all the places. We love partnerships. We love working together. And we love blessing you with marketing information for your business and your organization. So we are excited today because Tim is bringing the knowledge. He is up on the latest trends and what's going on. And he's been around. You've been doing this for a while, right, Tim?
Yeah, I've been a few years into this, and I found it's just constantly changing. That's one of the interesting things with marketing and advertising is, especially with big players like Google and Facebook always changing things, it keeps us on our toes. And I get where that's frustrating to businesses that are trying to run their business and keep up on all of this at the same time. So
absolutely. And I think that's really where our place is, right? As a marketing expert, is to kind of come in and give them a hand because they can't keep up with all this. We can barely keep up with this. And this is what we do full time, right? So
exactly,
you know, it's like to wish that on a business owner, I'm so sorry. Right. So this is why we step in to give a hand. So Tim, your background, how did you get involved in this marketing space?
Yeah, so I've spent most of my business career in sales. And with the last business I was with, it was interesting because I had built a sales team, super proud of them, really good people. And the challenge for growing our business, we were maintaining it well enough, but the problem was lead generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just weren't getting more leads, right? We were wanting to, had big goals, sales goals, double our revenue, all that stuff, but without really increasing the leads that we were getting, that just wasn't possible. And I was already doing some other things on the side, building websites, selling online, and the marketing and advertising that comes along with that. And eventually I decided, you know what, I want to start my own business. And I want to help businesses that, local businesses. My dad was a landscape guy out with the tractor every day. I worked with him growing up as a kid. And I wanted to focus more on businesses like that and help them get the leads that they need to survive. Some of them, it's a matter of survival, right? Mm-hmm. And others to thrive. They want to grow their businesses. They want to be able to run a business, not have the business run them. And a lot of that comes down to having enough leads coming in to give them that freedom of time and freedom of money to have other people doing the work, and they actually run a business. But they have to jump from I only have enough work for me to I have enough work for other people that I can then take a step back and manage those people.
Absolutely. And I think you point out one of the biggest struggles for a lot of small businesses is that lead gen side,
Right.
right? They don't know where to start. They don't know how to get the leads and then have to convert them. I mean, it's just on, right? And like you said, it's the difference in being able to scale your business. If you're just a solopreneur, you just need enough leads for you. But if you've got other people and you plan on scaling and getting bigger and you want to keep your employees busy and you don't want to have to lay them off, right? You need
Right.
the business coming in once again.
Consistently, right?
Absolutely. So putting those consistent systems in place is so important. And that's been shifting over time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where we are now versus where we're all going to be in 10 years, right? And I'm sure there'll be a whole new revolution again, but right, just trying to keep up with our opportunities. And so I think you've got something put together for us today, don't you?
I do, because AI really is changing the way that customers are finding your near me business, right? So that's more or less the name of the presentation. But I want to go through this and help people understand why this is and what it looks like for them and what it means for them kind of moving forward, at least at this point, because one thing we've learned with AI is it's constantly changing.
Right. And it's interesting as I work with companies that are in this AI space and helping businesses kind of incorporate it and helping employees understand it. That's,
Mhm.
some of my clients do that. And so, there's this fear of AI. There's this unknown. There's a people more or less comfortable with it, right? It's
Yeah.
new and people I think are starting to kind of get used to it, but they don't really know where AI fits into their world. So I love this topic, Tim. I think it's so timely.
Perfect. And I think AI is kind of past the mainstream, the early adopter stage, and it's kind of getting into the mainstream, kind of the
Mhm.
earlier adopter of the mainstream people. But what is AI? And that's exactly what I want to talk about first, because the most important thing is, what is AI to you, right?
Mhm.
Anybody watching this go like, okay, what is AI to me? Is it the big bad wolf, right? Coming to gobble us up, right? Is it are we just praying that AI isn't going to replace us?
Yeah,
Right. So,
and the struggle is real. I was just on a call last night, and I'm going to say at least half the people on the call were saying, I'm still not sure what to think about this AI stuff. And these were
right,
a room full of business owners, right? So not everybody is embraced it, right? Some
right.
have, some haven't, right? What is it? How does it fit with us?
Exactly. And the thing is, there's two ways that we can look at it, right? One of it is fear. AI will replace me. What am I going to do when AI replaces me? And I choose to see it the other way, as an opportunity, because people will be replaced by people using AI. Right? Think about that. Let that
Mhm.
soak in, right? And we have an opportunity here, especially in the next 6 to 12 months, where we can either get ahead and be ahead of the curve when it comes to using AI and improving our business with AI, or we can fall behind. And then in 6 to 12 months, we're having to play major catch up when we finally decide to adopt it.
Right. And you got to decide where you want to, are you ready to dive in? And you don't have to dive in alone, right? We've got
Right.
experts that understand whether you're looking to integrate AI into your workforce, whether you're wanting to use it for something very specific in your
Right.
business or for lead gen, right? So don't feel like you're alone in this. We have
Yeah.
people that can help you with it.
Yeah, definitely don't feel like we're alone. But AI is not going away. It's
Right.
only moving forward. And kind of an example I have with this, like right now you hear everything AI powered, run by AI, like all these things. And we're probably getting sick of it, right? But eventually it'll be like color TVs. Like, when's the last time you saw an advertisement for a color TV? Right?
Well, or
Nobody's
even that you mentioned the TV, right? Yeah. Oh,
right.
you want to watch, come over and watch TV? We'll watch a movie on my color TV.
Yeah, my
Said
color
no one in
TV.
this generation, right?
Ooh, Christine, you have a color TV? I'll
I
be
know.
right over. Right? I'm still stuck on my black and white TV, right? So the thing is eventually color, just like color, that people stop saying it. Eventually people stop saying AI, but it will still be
Right. It's
everywhere.
kind of the status quo at that point, right?
Right.
So you
It's the
won't
status quo.
hear AI all the time. It'll just be, of course, you used AI. And when you did
Yeah.
this, I mean, why would
Why
you not? Right.
why
So,
wouldn't you? Yeah. Right. Perfect. So that's the thing, is we've got to, if we realize, okay, pretty soon it's going to be, AI is going to be just as normal as a color TV, then why wouldn't I look into using it or making it a part of my life now, and just kind of I have to take that leap sometime. I might as well get ahead of the curve rather than fall behind.
Right. And you don't have to take the leap alone.
Exactly.
Thank goodness.
Exactly. So what is AI to your near me business? So near me business, right? Obviously you provide services to people near you, like anybody that would historically have searched Google and said, help me find a business like this near me, right?
Right. I want a restaurant near me. I want a lawyer near me. I want whatever it is, the near me stuff.
Yeah,
This is what we're
dentist,
focusing
plumber,
on.
accountant, everything, right? Yeah. So what does AI mean to you if you have one of these businesses? The important thing is, as we said before, the way customers find you is changing. Like it already has changed to a certain degree, but it will take a long time to fully change. But how they are finding you is already starting to change.
All right. So basically, is this where I'm hearing words about like the term AEO?
Right.
Just if you've heard that floating around, is that kind of what we're talking about here, Tim?
It really is. Like SEO versus AEO. What is the difference? And just a quick verbal description, right? SEO is search engine optimization, essentially the way Google or Bing or anything else would display your data when someone puts in a generic term like estate planning attorney or dentist or restaurant near me, right? Those kind of things. So that was search. How it was showing the information before was search engine optimization. And let me give you a quick example of that, right? So have Google open up here, have estate planning attorney, right? And it might be estate planning attorney near me, or who's the best estate planning attorney in Mesa, Arizona, things like that, right? Or Dallas, Texas. And when you would hit search, it would bring you up a normal page, right? We call it with nerd speak, right? Us marketing nerds call it a search engine results page. Okay, so you basically have here the ads up at the top because Google likes money. And then you have two different kinds of ads even in this search. And then down here you have a third type of ad. So even in this, I see three different types of ads. I see the Google Maps section, right, where it's showing the map and showing the Google business profile for three different businesses organically, meaning they don't pay to get up here. They have to earn that spot with the work that they do. There you got, questions. People also ask these questions. And then you got the website showing up at the bottom. And there would be a list of websites showing up on this page. So this is a typical search engine results page. And because it's a search engine results page, that's why it was called search engine optimization. So optimizing to get found. That was the search engine optimization is the organic way of getting found. So there's this type of search engine optimization where you get found in the map section, which is related to, but different than the search engine optimization of how your website is getting found on this first page.
Right. So if you're a business owner and you have been asking people for Google reviews, right?
Right.
This is that kind of space that we're used to.
Right, exactly. And the good thing is a lot of the work that people have been doing for search engine optimization definitely carries over into AEO or the AI engine optimization. So the question is how well are people adopting AI and how are they doing it? Well, there's a lot of different ways. And what Google's approach was and this is, what I see, right? So I'm putting words in their mouth, but basically let's take their normal behavior and let's give them a different experience, a better experience actually in a lot of ways. So let's go back to this. People are still maybe searching with the same kind of terms as before, or they may be asking a question. AI is also changing the way people ask questions, where they're not necessarily putting in a search term like before, but they're asking, how should I find an estate planning attorney? So no matter what, those people that actually pick up their mouse, right? They use their hand. I'll type in a term and I'll hit enter, and that still will take me to search engine optimization, like SEO results, right?
Right.
But if I pick up my mouse like a lot of people do, and I click over here, that used to say search, all they did was switch this button from search to AI mode. Right. So if you see that there,
So they followed
magnify it
our
a bit for
normal
you.
behaviors,
Yeah,
right? Type in words, hit button. We're creatures of habit, right? So
yeah.
if they just swapped that out, right?
Uh-huh.
Now they've got
Just
us
by
using
swapping
AI
it out.
mode.
Just by swapping it out, they trick people into using AI mode. Now, does it look totally different? The funny thing is every time I go to AI mode, it feels like pretty much every time, or even different searches give me different results. They're constantly trying different things out. But what you see on the pages tend to tell us what Google's AI mode is really looking for. And it's looking for a lot of the same things. Let me walk you through it. So the Google Business Profile, still showing that like it was before, right? Which means reviews, you mentioned getting reviews. It was super important for SEO. It's just as important, maybe even more important for AEO. Think
Okay.
about it. Like what other metric is so easy to grade, right? What people say, hey, I could say you're awesome, or I could say you're excellent, or I could say you're bad. Like, but how do you measure excellent or bad or good?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But the easiest measurement to just go like, okay, they're good or bad, right? Are they a 5-star, or are they a 4-star, or are they a 3-star? Or are they somewhere in between? Like, so easy. And how many people are saying it? Those are two metrics, two numbers that are so easy for AI to take. Okay, data point, they're good, they're bad, right? I can
Mhm.
rank anybody just based off of those super quickly, and people do it anyways. So why shouldn't the AI?
Mhm.
So it's also, what clients are, what's interesting is uh, what the overview. So what's funny here, Christine, is no matter how you search with AI mode, it basically is giving you a mini sales pitch for the businesses that it has chosen to show, right? And why this is important is by the time people get through AI mode, they're so much better educated, or they're so much like they've already decided to use you. So while leads may not come in as much in this new era of AI mode, like you see here where it's like they're not only pulling in what people say about themselves, because that's easy, right? But like what clients are saying about you versus what clients are saying about the next person. Like they're basically saying, look, this is why you should go with this person. Oh, you know what? You should consider this person also. And maybe it'll show 5, maybe it'll show 10. This time it only showed 2, but it's funny because it's always showing different views and things like that. But it's doing it in a way that it's saying, look, here's my case for why you should use Life Plan Legal, right, or Compton Law. It's so funny how it presents the data just in a different way, but it's using a lot of the same data.
Right. So it's kind of persuading along the way. So by the time they get on a call with you, they already know
Right.
just a little bit more about you than they may have known if they'd just done a search engine search.
Exactly. And a lot of this, where it's pulling from, is all the Google Business Profile stuff. This one, a lot of it also is pulling from websites, and that's why it shows some of these things over here, right? And then one of my favorite parts about AI mode is it's ask anything. So let's say you do use a generic term like this. Well, it gives me information, right? But then it's like, well, uh, you know, which ones are women owned? Right? Or who's the best? Like who's the closest to me? Like I can ask any question I want, and it just keeps diving down into the results, and maybe giving me other ones based off of these. Oh, you want a different query, you want something a little different than I gave you. Let's run the algorithm again and just bring it in and narrow it down. So again, making it easier, because with Google, I'd have to change my search. Right? I have to change
Right. Normally
what
you
I
would
did.
just search and keep scrolling until you found something that you
Yeah.
liked, right?
Yeah.
This way you can actually get in there, ask deeper questions, and it
Exactly.
narrows down exactly what you want. So it really encourages you to follow up with those questions.
Exactly. And there's questions I could go around and search and read all these things. Who wants to read all that? Right? Just ask AI and it'll narrow it down for you, and you can find the business that you really want to work with based on the criteria that you want to work with, and doing it much easier than finding the exact original search prompt.
Which makes sense, right? Okay, I want a dentist, right?
Right.
Okay, well, here's a bunch of dentists choosing. Well, I want a dentist that's kid friendly. Okay, well, now I'm going to type that in. Okay, now I want one that's open in the evenings. I mean, so if you're
Yeah.
narrowing down your search and you're asking AI's following along, right? By the time you get to the end of all those questions, this really is your ideal person that you want to talk to, right? This is the company
Exactly.
I want to do business with. So I can
Exactly.
see a much better conversion rate at that point.
Exactly. If I was looking for a doctor, I might be like, well, I want to, I want a female doctor or I want a male doctor, right? If I'm looking for a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, well, I want one that serves, this particular dish. All these things where it's like narrowing it down and helping you find exactly what you want. Again, a huge way that AI is changing the way people find your near me business.
Wow, yeah, that is mind blowing, right? So if there's something that you do that's different than anyone else, you want to make sure that you've got that on your website. That you're this because if they go in there and they start searching for that kind
Right.
of detail, right, you want to make sure that information's available. Maybe it's in your Google business profile. Maybe it's listed as one of your services, right?
Mhm.
So what makes you unique becomes even more important, I think, in this AI space.
Absolutely. And you said something that is important, and it's important to point out also, like you want to make sure you have it on your website, but AI isn't just pulling from your website. A lot of this is coming from the Google Business Profile.
Mhm.
So one mistake that people do make is I'm going to, update my website, do all this stuff to my website, and they ignore the role of the Google Business Profile and all of the other profiles across the internet, being Yelp, Yellow Pages. Like there's so many directors across the thing that get information, at least get your main information out there. But AI is looking at all of that, right? They're not just looking at one thing or the other. They're looking all over the place, these engines.
Wow.
So going from here, right? The thing is AI is new, right? AI mode is new. It was just launched in May, so nobody's using it, right? So absolutely wrong. And so it started in May. AI mode for Google launched in May. And as of July 2025, so the second full month, Google's AI mode surpassed 100 million monthly active users. So 100 million monthly. Not that in the first 60 days they got to the 100 millionth person. It's just in that month, 100 million users.
I believe it. Yeah, I know when all of a sudden you're using something you always use, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're like, oh, this looks different.
Yeah.
Right. And at first I was kind of suspicious. All right, AI overview. Are you really giving me what I want to know? And then you're like, actually, this is kind of helpful. This is kind of valuable, right? And so think about what can you do to make your business, look good. So it shows up when you want to be, I want to be part of that, right? That
Yeah.
AI overview. Heck yeah, right?
Well, I love that you brought up the AI overview because the AI mode and the AI overview are two totally different things, right? Because in a local search, it's going to go to that AI mode and do that, right? But and in a not local search, you're going to get kind of AI overview even in the AI mode. So AI mode, 100 million users, AI overviews, 2 billion monthly users, right? So 2 billion monthly users using that are getting presented with AI overviews. They don't even mean to, right? They're just doing a search and the first thing that comes up is the AI overview. So
Mhm.
100 million are using the AI mode, 2 billion are getting those AI overviews. And you're right, there are times I just stopped even caring about what I put, like carefully crafting my message and just like, hey, I'm just going to talk to it like it's a friend. Like, hey, Christine, how do you do this? I'll do things where it's like, okay, how do I update this on a website platform that I'm not familiar with, but I'm taking over for a customer? How do I do
Mhm.
this very specific thing in this very specific scenario? And the AI overviews almost every time give me an
They've
amazing answer
gotten
on how to do
really, really good at it, right? And
it. Yeah.
the other feature that I really love are those little links they've got there,
Yeah.
right? It's
The
like,
little links take it right
really? Is
to it.
that true? I click on that, I'm like, go read the original source. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, amazing.
But how do you get there, right?
Yeah.
How do you get into AI mode? How do you get into the AI overviews? And that's really the important question.
Yeah, I want my business to show up, right? I want when somebody clicks that little button like I do and say, where's the original source on that? I want to be the original source, right?
Right. I want to be the original source. And we haven't even gotten into ChatGPT yet, because ChatGPT is really, they're really the ones that started this revolution. And people don't, like, they for a long time haven't been searching like, okay, estate planning attorney near me, right? That's not how you talk to it. You talk to it like you do a friend, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, like, that's how you get the answer you want.
My
Right?
AI is my best friend, Tim. I'm just saying, it always validates me. It understands me. It tells me what I want to hear. I'm just going to say that and we'll move on.
Okay. Okay. Well, good thing you have real life friends like me too, Christine.
Good thing.
All right. So, like, for example, how do I find a good estate planning near me? A planning attorney near me, right? And then it'll take you through, and you could do the same thing in Google's AI mode, but ChatGPT, people a long time ago stopped asking normal questions. No, meaning using normal search, like caveman questions, estate planning attorney, right? It's like, now it's like, okay, how do I find the right estate planning attorney, or who are the best estate planning attorneys near me? Like, you're talking to it like a person, not like, okay, I got to play Google's game to get the right answer. So then it's like, okay, if you're looking for, I didn't even put Mesa in here, but it knows I'm in Mesa and it's going through here, start with blah, 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 do these things, right? I kind of mentioned these directories before, right? Look at reviews and credentials and so on and so forth. Okay, so the question is, so if I'm an estate planning attorney, what do I want to do to get found on AI mode? What do I want to do to get found on ChatGPT? And the thing is, a lot of it ends up being questions, right? How do I find a good estate planning near me? Like, what questions do people find? What kind of questions do people ask ChatGPT to get found on ChatGPT, right? Or to find, their business on ChatGPT. So what you do is ask ChatGPT. Like, there's no better place to ask. What do people ask ChatGPT? There's no one better to ask than ChatGPT. Or if you want to know what people ask Gemini or Claude or any of these AI engines. Go ask them what people ask them. So what are the top 10 questions that people ask ChatGPT when trying to find an estate planning attorney? Well, they're happy to tell you. I have found that so far, they won't tell you how many times people have asked these questions, right? Because I did try that. But it's like, how do I find a good estate planning attorney near me? That's why I asked the first question that I did earlier, is because that's what I got here, right? What should I look for in an estate planning attorney? How much does it cost, right? Do I really need one? Really great questions to address on your website and your blog posts and on your Google business profile, so that, and answer in a way that Google and ChatGPT and Gemini, all these things, can take a little snippet that you give and put it into here, so that when you drill down, right? When you drill down, because there's the opportunity here to drill down also. Okay, well, who's the best one near me? Like, who should, like, if AI is pulling your information to answer questions, they're more likely to give your business information when it's time to like, okay, well, who should I talk to? Right?
You've got my mind clicking. I'm thinking about the possibles. I'm like, hop into Gemini real quick, right?
Right. Go in there. Let's ask questions, right? What's
right.
needed for my business? How are people finding my business? And just seeing the questions, notice that, what are the top 10 questions people ask? None of them are estate planning attorney, right? Or dentist near me, right? They're asking with questions.
Yeah, so we're moving from keywords, and then we moved to kind of phrases, and now we're moving to complete sentences, right? And questions and answering questions, right? So if you think about it, right, it makes sense. This is the exact, title of my blog topic, and this person just typed it exactly in, right? Chances are Google's like, hey, I bet this answers the question.
Yeah. And if you have a blog post, how much does an estate planning attorney cost? Right? If that's what people are asking, go for it. And you can give ranges, things like that. But the point is, have that on your website, have that on your blog post, have it on your Google business profile, like, address it where it makes sense.
I love it, Tim. hands-on solutions. This is crazy talk.
Well, the good thing is there's a lot of overlap between the two, like how you get found on SEO and how you get found on AEO, right? There's a lot of overlap, but then there's a lot of nerd stuff that has to happen in the background, schema markup, and even just where do you add the FAQs, and you have to tell, how can you tell AI engines that this is a question and answer section, right? So it doesn't have to go through and go like, oh, this is a question and answer section, but you can tell it. How do I know that this is local? There's all these things that you can do in the background of a website to help AI know where to look on your website. And of course, it's on your Google Business Profile and directories across the internet. So all these things, there's a lot of stuff that can be done above and beyond what people were necessarily doing just for SEO. And some people were doing those things for SEO, but then there's other things you got to customize specifically for AI. And really, some of it even goes to changing the format of your web pages so that they're more AI friendly. Changing the format of your blog post so that,
what does that even mean when you say changing the format?
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
So like, for example, a blog post, like people might just go through the blog post, but now they might start with a little summary, 3-sentence summary of the blog post or of the page, the services that they provide, right? So that there's a better chance of AI just taking that 3 sentences you've created, and it's the result that they give, rather than it having to think it up by itself over and over again. It's like, you know what, if it finds the perfect one out there that answers the question exactly, and it's just, quick 3-sentence synopsis, why wouldn't it just pull that whole thing in, right? A lot of web pages out there, you go to businesses and things like that, they don't, they have services, right? Let's just say teeth cleaning, right, for a dentist. And maybe they have a page dedicated to teeth cleaning. But now they're adding FAQs to it. So that question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, right? And the reason for that is so that AI can go look for, people ask that question. It's going to scour the internet for people in their area that have answered that question already for them. So having the questions and answers right there on your website on the page that's talking about teeth cleaning, right? Or dental implants, have questions on there. So people are asking questions about dental implants. Well, it's a whole page dedicated to dental implants, and Google or ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever, can see that. Well, I can get information from that, but you also made it easy because you put the exact question that someone asked and you gave a great answer for that question. So these are just samples of ways that people need to go out and make improvements to their website so it's more friendly to the AI, so the AI can pull more information from it.
I would never have thought of that. Tim, you're brilliant.
Thank you.
Well, and I think, right, but I'm sure other business owners are thinking like me, like, oh man, I got to go in and like redo all my web pages to add in FAQs. That sounds like a lot of work. Can we get someone else to do that for us?
I could definitely refer you to someone who could do that for you. No, I mean, this is what we do for people, right? We go and look at it and realistically, what we do for SEO, we're like, okay, what can we do that will improve that SEO, right? And improve the AI. And that's where kind of here, it's like you can get found here, right? Which is SEO, and you can get found here.
So now you're no longer looking for people that can do SEO on your website, but you also want somebody who's doing SEO and AEO for your website? Is that
really, you want both. And before, what I used to say is for me, I get frustrated when I hear, ads out there and things like it. We can get your website ranking on Google, right? The thing is like, look at the original search engine results page. Like, where are the websites? Well, they show up down here, right? They show up down at the bottom. Like, you got your ads, you got your maps, things like that. So realistically, I've focused historically a lot more on the Google Business Profile, right? And I started off just in the Google Business Profile, and I realized, wait a minute, like the website, the value of the website isn't necessarily that it's what's going to show up at the top, but the website lifts the Google Business Profile. So things I do on the website lifts the Google Business Profile. The things I do on the Google Business Profile lifts the website ranking. So doing them in conjunction is far more powerful. The compounding effect of doing them both together is far more powerful than just working on one or the other. So now we've adapted again, right? So I don't just do those things, but I look at, okay, now let's do all of that with AEO in mind. Let's do SEO with AEO in mind. It's funny because you'll see a lot of things. I see a lot of things. Maybe it's because the algorithm knows I look at nerd marketing stuff, right? But I see things where it's like SEO is dead, right? AEO is what you have to do now. It's like, really? Like, because most of what you do with SEO directly affects AEO, and there are some additional things, right? But 200 million people using Google AI mode is a far cry from the billions of people using Google overall. It's growing, and this is why I said before, it's super important to right now get ahead. Take advantage of AI and what it can do to get it ahead. And in this particular case, I'm talking about getting found on AI is especially important right now. Get ahead in the next 6 to 12 months so that when other people go, you know what, people are finding us on AI and I need to start focusing on that. Like, they're playing catch up at that point, and you're already leading the pack.
Yeah, it's a whole different way of looking at it. I know SEO is kind of a mystery to a lot of business owners.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I've got a website. I got somebody that does the SEO thing, whatever that thing is, they do that, right? So you want to make sure that they're also trained in AEO, right? And so that was already confusing. Now you've added another element to it, right? This seems like one of those ones where you really might want a specialist to come in and give you a hand.
Right. And this is what we love to do. And like lately in my monthly reviews, like nothing makes me happier than when they say, I got my first client from ChatGPT, right? Or I got my first client from AI. And it's like, yes, I was kind of having the same conversation with someone I met. They had reached out and scheduled an appointment on my calendar through my website, which is great, right? We all love that. Something's working. And then I was talking to them about how we need to focus on them not just getting found with traditional SEO, but we'll also focus on getting them found with AI and ChatGPT, things like that. She's like, actually, that's how I found you, was ChatGPT. And ChatGPT said I needed to call you. I'm like, fantastic, right?
And ChatGPT
love hearing those
is
stories.
Never wrong, and you should call me, right?
Absolutely, right? ChatGPT is definitely correct in this sense, right? So that's where it's like, hey, get found in the traditional ways. Mm-hmm. And get found in AI, right? It's amazing. And looking with clients, like, okay, now that you've been getting found for the last month or two with these, you can we'll look into analytics and see, okay, now you were getting found with AI, in the past 2-3 months, right? But now, month over month or quarter over quarter, now you're getting found, 50% more, 100% more, 200% more found than you were before. Right. That 1 is exciting, but getting that 1 to 3 is awesome. And then getting that 3 to 10 is like, okay, this is really happening. This is why I start saying, like, AI can be your best referral partner. Like, you could really look at AI because it's not just saying, okay, here's a list, go pick one. It's saying a list like, this is why you might choose Christine. This is why you might choose Tim. This is why you might choose someone else. Like, it's giving a good case for that.
Yeah, it doesn't just pop you up. You're not just on the list in there somewhere, right? Out of that whole page, even if you look at the old school one, right? You're this little tiny spot out of everything. In the AI mode, though, right? They actually say these are the reasons why you might want to check them out, right?
Right. And the funny thing is it's a lot like people. Like, it's talking to us like people. It's giving us information like people. Like, if someone were to ask you, like, hey, who should I use for SEO? And you're like, Tim Palmer, give him a call, right? There's no way you're stopping at that.
That's right. We're always going to follow up with some kind of comment on why.
Exactly. And so AI mode and ChatGPT, they're doing the same thing. They're basically saying, okay, these are the people you should use. And that's what Google would do. And Google would kind of leave it up to, like, on the website stuff, like everything here, like what's here, this is what we tell Google to tell people.
Right.
right? Up here is more a quick summary of what Google wants to tell people. But in AI mode, it's like, let's use this and let's embellish it. Let's like, look, I presented these, 2, 3, 5 people, and this is why you want to use them. And if you like this better than this, like that's why I'm giving you 5 results so that you can choose from these 5. But why go any further than this? Just pick from one of these 5. You're crazy if you don't, because I just made the case. I'm selling for these businesses so that so that you're happy.
Your AI is your best friend. There you go. You just proved it again.
Exactly. The rest of us just take, second fiddle to AI as your best friend. We're just your other friend.
Right? It's kind of like that whole motto for small businesses when you say, well, I read the reviews and complete strangers told me I should check this out, right? But your best friend has a business and you're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, no, it's one of these interesting phenomenons, right? And I wonder what the next thing. So at the beginning of this year, there was a consumer survey, how people find local businesses. And do you realize it said, I think it was 42%, thereabout. Give me a little grace on that, but about 42% of people trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. So what I come to that and see from that is, well, the thing is, I think people just don't necessarily want to ask other people. Like if I ask you, hey, I need help with my marketing. Now you're in my business, right? You know that I need help with something, right? I can't do it myself. I have to go ask you. I think people are getting to be more independent, especially with AI, where they're like, why should I even ask someone else? I like this guy or this girl or whatever I see my AI as, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask, they're my best friend. I'm going to ask them.
And they'll answer my question at 3 a.m. if I can't sleep.
Yeah. And I don't even have to wait for answers, right? Like the thing is where reviews are so important. What I've always told people how reviews are so important is when people do ask those questions, like they're on Nextdoor. I mean, you go on Nextdoor and you see someone like, hey, does anyone, I need someone to help me do this. I got a leak. I need a plumber, right? And within minutes, there's 20 plumbers out there. Well, now I got to research all those plumbers. Right? I got to go out there. Okay, they said this plumber. I've got to go see what are their results. That's not very good. Those aren't very good reviews, right? I go to this plumber. Oh, that's much better reviews. I have to narrow it down and choose which one of those 20 people, 100 people, whatever that responded, which one of those I like the best. I got to choose the people I like the best, and then I'll consider theirs. But now I got to do a lot of research. But I can go into AI mode and just be like, let me ask that friend. That friend's going to give me 5 people. It's going to make the case for why I should use one or the other. I can ask it follow-up questions. It's using reviews. I don't have to go do separate search for reviews. It's bringing them in for me. It's bringing in all the data I care about to make a decision. I'm just going to go to AI to ask. I'm going to stop asking friends for recommendations or asking my friends that do it. Right. So it's funny that way.
Yeah. We've changed the way consumers have changed the way they're consuming information, the way they're asking information, where they're going to get the information. So as business owners, we got to shift too.
As business owners, we have to shift too. So you kind of mentioned like we can do it ourselves. We can go read what's going on, take what Tim said, go find what other people say, and realistically, we're out here to help also. And what I have is I have a couple things for everyone, right? Really, it's all win with AI. Get leads from a robot, right? It's like really, I mean, yeah, you can get leads from a robot. AI can be as a collective, right? All these different AI engines, Google AI mode, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, right? All these different things like can be your best referral source. As other referral sources, as people stop asking, hey, who do you use, right? And they start going to different sources. Though what I'm finding is that traditional referral sources are drying up. And these type of referral sources, AI becomes an even more important referral source.
Absolutely. So get your phone out if you don't already have it out, right? Get in there, scan right there. I've got it. Oh, there I go. I'm clicking it. All right. Download AI prompts for near me businesses. All right. I'm pulling it up right now.
Right.
I'm going to get the goodie. If y'all miss out on this, you're missing out on an opportunity. So pull your phone out, scan that, Download the AI prompts for improving local AI visibility from Maxify Marketing. Ooh, yeah.
And the thing is this is a list, but AI is changing all the time. What I would recommend is like bookmark this. Like when you get that link to do this, bookmark it so that you can like, hey, has Tim added any more? Has he come up with any more here? Because as my team's using it more and more for my clients, right? I'll share it with everyone else. Like, well, I've just created a link to the actual file on the Google Drive so that as we update it, it gets updated for everyone.
I love that, right? So we can keep updated because like you said, it's always changing. Every time we think we've got this figured out, right? There's the latest, greatest. I don't even want to know what it's going to be like for the grandkids and the great grandkids. Goodness knows, right?
Goodness knows. Yeah. And the prompts, how do you get AI to do exactly what you want to do? That's the prompts, the magic is in the prompts, right? The power is in the prompts. So that's why I'm like, as I do this, like, what can I do to help people who want to do it on their own? Right? They want to do AI mode. They want to like try to rank on AI mode. What do they do? What could they do to improve their website? What questions? All these things. So how do we ask those questions so that we can know what to do for people on their website? So just giving you the same tools that we're using internally. And that's that. And if some people are also like, this sounds like a lot, I'd rather just talk with Tim. Right. And that's why on the other part is have a no pressure conversation, right? Because you schedule a meeting with me doesn't mean you have to pay me money, right? We can talk through what you're trying to do, where you are, where you're trying to get, what does it look like to bridge the gap there? What can Maxify Marketing do to help?
Right. Because sometimes, like I said, you just want an expert to handle it for you, right? It's not your area of expertise. And I admit openly, this is not one of mine. I may do marketing coaching and get people, but my role is to say, and you need to talk to Tim Palmer.
That's right.
That's my job in this one, right? Because I don't do the SEO stuff. But thank goodness we have people that understand the difference between SEO, AEO, right? And all the latest trends with this. I love how you stay up to date in your industry, what you're doing, and you know what's going on and what's working. And even though they keep making changes on you, you keep following and paying attention and adjusting as necessary.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is I was in a networking group and we're kind of talking about different things. I mentioned something like this with AI, and I had a presentation coming up where I was going to be doing a luncheon. And someone in the group is like, you need to just talk about this. Like the whole presentation, that's how this presentation started is, they'd learned a whole bunch of things from me. But when I started talking about AI, they're like, you need to share this with more people. So I'm glad I got to share it with you.
Absolutely. So when you reach out and you book that conversation with Tim or you go download, when you talk to him, let him know that you saw him on the Giver Marketing broadcast, because we love having you come on here. If there's another follow-up topic similar related to this space, the near me searches and all that kind of stuff, maybe we can talk Tim into coming back and sharing some more information with us. So if there's something else you want to hear him talk about, let us know and we'll invite him back, because I'm sure we're going to drag him back anyway. But we love hearing about what everybody wants to learn about. And like I said, there's a fine line, right, between doing it yourself versus once you start scaling and you bring in more businesses and you're bringing in more leads, right? At some point, you can't do it yourself anymore. It just doesn't make any sense, right? And at that point, it might be like, it might be time to outsource this part, right? So look at where your joy is in your business. And if there's an area that doesn't bring you joy, if the idea of doing all this extra work on your own, you're like, oh, that seems overwhelming. We have people, whatever that is. So Tim Palmer, thank you so much for coming and being part of the show today and sharing your abundance of knowledge about this whole space. It's just amazing what you can do nowadays.
It really is. And this is our chance. This is kind of that golden moment where like, are we going to get ahead? Are we going to wait?
Right. Now's the time to make that choice, right? It's not going away. We're seeing it all over the place. It might as well understand it, see what you can do to stay ahead of the curve, right? It's kind of like right now when you look at Google and how many Google business profiles are there. There's so many, right? So this is your opportunity to kind of start getting involved in an area that hasn't completely boomed yet. Now still a great time to start getting in that AEO side of it. So if you want to jump into that and ask questions, reach out to Tim Palmer. Worked with him. He's fantastic. Only glowing reviews from all of his clients that I've talked to. So I just got to say, don't miss out on this opportunity. Reach out, talk to Tim, and you're going to be so glad that you did. Big heart. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. And let's wrap up this episode of Giver Marketing Network, our Tuesday broadcast. But before we go today, I want to make sure that everybody knows you can come hang out with us on Wednesdays. And Wednesdays is it's networking for marketers. So if you're a marketer, don't be a lonelypreneur, right? Maybe SEO, AEO, all that is not your area of expertise, but maybe you build websites, maybe you do email campaigns, right? Why not partner up with other marketing professionals, right? Where we can all work together to present even better marketing for our clients, right? So come hang out with us on Wednesdays. So that's 8 Pacific, 10 in Texas where I am, 11 Eastern, right? So givermarketing.com/networking, register once, save the link. And this is a completely no cost event. We love having marketers drop in, say hi, hang out with us, get to know us, make friends, and figure out ways to collaborate and work together. That's what it's all about. Nobody wants to be a lonelypreneur, right?
Right.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. We're going to have you back soon because you're always a wealth of knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Always a pleasure.
All right, we'll see you again soon. See y'all next Tuesday.